Kevin, you gonna buy a beamer? Going? Great. You too. Wow, this is funny from a guest perspective. I've never actually seen that. That's hilarious.
This stuff.
From a guest perspective. Oh, probably because of the music or something, or because you touched the wrong button. Yeah, who knows? Well, great timing. Are you sure it stopped? I think it's still going. I think maybe you hit something. It seems to still be going. I can't do all of this at the same time. Can you please figure this out? All right, what are we doing here? Good evening. Good evening. Is this working? Is anything working? Welcome. Oh, jeez, I need a microphone. Holy crow. Welcome to the friggin' first. Is this a Cars and Comedy? What is this show? We're working it out, but it's a transition. You're here. We're here. Thanks for being here. And did I hear somebody else just join as well? Did I hear? Can I cut over? I did hear somebody over there. Wow, you're a pixelated mess, but you're driving in a car. Is that you, Rusty?
Yeah, that's me. I'm here.
Dude, this is hilarious. Where are you going right now?
It's a remote. I'm actually headed home. I had to go out of town to pick my son up from a far off distance from the house, but we're trapped inside of a Kia Sorento.
This is hilarious. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know who this is, there's a lot of news. We're going to be talking about it tonight. There is a different Letterman podcast, and that is called Wake the Kids, Phone the Neighbors, and one of the hosts of that is this guy right here, Rusty Shackleford. You can't tell what he looks like because he's totally pixelated, but that's him. He usually wears a red shirt, a blue hat. He's got a nice big beard. We're going to be talking to him in just a few minutes, but in the meantime, Nicole is over here, and she figured out the phone, which is awesome. Pretty girl, and she's holding the Instagram audience because for some reason the usual system isn't working. Don't know why. Maybe you can't Instagram from an iPad anymore. I don't know. Maybe they don't like what we're up to. It all is what it is. We're very happy that you're here. Please like and subscribe this channel, although we'll be telling you in a little bit where else you can like and subscribe this channel in the future. And, oh, this is awkward. I love it. I'm so uncomfortable. I've already done a podcast today with somebody else where I was uncomfortable with new cameras in different places. We're going to be talking about cars. We are going to be talking about comedy. There's a lot of stuff on the blue card here. The new DeLorean. We want to talk about the new DeLorean because I talked about it on somebody else's podcast, and that won't come out for a little bit. So let's do it here first. Yeah, we'll tell you all about all that stuff. New chairs, sponsorship, how's the weather, maybe even a scratch-off ticket. Now, Rusty, it's your turn to say something to these people while I walk around to the desk.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, we're trapped in an instance here. I'm on a dirt road near you.
I love. Look, we said we're going to be trying new stuff, right?
We did.
Are you okay?
I'll be okay. So.
Did that take it out of you figuring
Yes.
that out? All right, so everybody got to see that. What happened? The thing somehow cut out here on the Instagram, and I couldn't deal with it because we were doing
Smack dab in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Okay, Rusty, you hang in there just 1 second. Maybe I will. Maybe I can do this. I can do this. There we go. It seems like he's breaking up because he's on the road, and that makes perfect sense. In the meantime, what's happening here with us live in the audience, in the studio? We're having an MS moment. Oh God, your new shoes are awesome.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, I'm gonna have to mute you, Rusty, because this isn't working.
Yeah.
I love you, buddy. Rusty, mute him for a second. Are you all right? I'll be all right in a second too. It's every direction, right?
There's a lot.
This is what it's like for me every show normally. So she was handling the Instagram thing because I couldn't figure it out during the show, before the show on the other thing. When something doesn't go your way and you have to figure it out new, fresh, you're using your brain, what happens to you?
That all gets confusing, but it wore me out physically. So
Holding it up high?
Yeah, and I couldn't see. I had to lean. Nothing was working.
Okay. Well, that was your choice. You didn't have to do it that way. You could have just held it. You could have leaned it against something.
This is where my brain stops working and I can't figure anything out because energy is allocated to figuring things out.
I am going to lose my shit today, and you're all going to see it live. This microphone. What a great time to make a first impression, I'll tell you that. Nothing's going right. I'm sorry that you had to go through all that. I am. It didn't need to be that bad for you. I'm sorry that I couldn't pay attention and help out at the same time. It just... This is what happens, though.
Goes on for you.
What happens with her, what just happened there, happens all the time, and it can be anything from anywhere, from anybody to anything, anywhere. Did I say anybody? And in this case, it was just a little phone thing here. But what if I'm not there to kind of take it away, which is what happened today, you have a little flare-up. But this doesn't seem to be affecting you for very long. You're already getting better. I can see it looks like you're already getting better. I'm sorry.
I'm fine. Up here is a disaster, but I can at least contain it.
I hate to say it. I'm almost glad that happened only so that people could see. So a physical thing wore you out so much that now your brain is all screwed up wiring. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. You saw that it happened to me before the show, too, so you're not alone.
I did, so I'm sorry I put it on you. It's so much for anyone.
I know. Why can't we just do a simple podcast? My goodness. Nobody asked for any of this, I'd like to point out. Nobody asked for it. But now they love it. Thank you. All right, so you're on the desk with us this evening, on the phone here, everybody on Instagram. And Rusty, I'm sorry, I'm going to unmute you now. It was just like we couldn't get through that, and it was making things worse. Not you, your lack of reception. Now, I can't tell if he's hauling ass at light speed now, or if he... or did the video stop?
We're at full warp speed.
Oh, you are? All right. See, now, the only reason I get that reference is because I spent the last couple of days with Greg Grunberg, who's in the Star Wars universe. I don't get it. I don't get Star Wars. I never have. I don't think that's new to our viewers here. All right, so this is where my...
Yeah, I don't get it either. We have bad reception out here.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe this won't work with the bad reception, but it was a... Oh, look at you. Now we can see you. The reception just got good.
Yeah, we're great.
God. Now I know how Dave used to feel in the old days when I'm starting to get it. Rusty, is there anything you can tell people about you and what you do in relation to this podcast? We won't talk about the up and comings yet. We're going to get to that in a few minutes, but like who you are and what your show is.
Well, I'm Rusty, and we do Wake the Kids and Phone the Neighbors, which is a Letterman tribute podcast. We kind of stick to the historical aspect of it and dive into different, characters in his life, whether it be, Betty White or, any kind of figure, Alan Luton or whatever, too. So I'm young as far as like Letterman world goes. I'm only 31. So for Letterman, for me, it's more of me searching for clips and videos and just looking for the stuff that I like about Letterman. I didn't really have, the same Letterman experience as the people from your generation or the host of my show, Mike's generation. And so my approach to Letterman is completely different than how you guys have tackled it, I think.
Well, certainly me personally, yes. That's kind of one of the things I like about you and what you're doing. One of the reasons I'm excited that there are so many Letterman things happening lately is that they're all so different. You hear like, oh, there's another thing, and the logo looks similar, and you think, oh, it's going to be somebody else doing the same thing. What you and your co-host, your partner Mike, do is completely different than like certainly what we do, and even the Letterman podcast, which Mike Chisholm does, who is usually with us here. What you guys do is different. It's got a different feel. It's got a younger vibe. It's a hip thing, and I dig it. So I recommend anybody check out the Wake the Kids. Wake the Kids, Phone the Neighbors podcast. It is available on all the podcast platforms currently, and in just a few minutes, after I tell you about my date with Greg Grunberg and stuff, we'll tell you where this can be seen in the future. It's a bummer that our friend Mike Chisholm isn't here, but he has the link as well, and he said if he could chime in, he would. And I do have a way, I think, to bring all three of us in here. So if he shows up, that would be good and great. But the really wonderful news, and I don't know how to say this because it's not really an official announcement. There will be more to come on this topic, and I have a phone call with somebody from Worldwide Pants tomorrow. Spoiler alert, where we'll have further discussions on this. But I can tell you right now that there will be coming up soon. There will be a Letterman podcast network, which is very cool and exciting for folks who do this sort of thing. And beyond that. Can I get us both in here? There we go. Oh, yeah, but then I'm not. Oh, there's too much to do. That's exciting for anybody who's a Letterman fan. Now, if you like this show, here's where it gets exciting. This show is going to be part of that podcast network. Rusty's show, Wake the Kids, it's going to be part of that podcast network. The Letterman podcast, Mike Chisholm's podcast show, Letterman discussion show, is going to be part of that network. Hopefully there will be others. I know that there are certainly some in discussion already, and it's an exciting thing. It's an exciting thing. I sound like Larry David.
It's very cool.
Why is it exciting? I don't know.
It sounds cool.
It's excited. I'm happy to be with. This is going to be great for a lot of reasons, but the fact that there will be a network, it's nice to be part of something else. We have something else to throw to. Right. There will be, you know what I mean? It'll be like, there'll be shared branding across all of the things. You know what I mean? It's kind of what we always wanted. Somebody else to share the load. This is too much for anybody to do. But if you're like doing it and spreading it out over a bunch and kind of sharing resources and stuff, all of a sudden it becomes like, oh, well, that's just how you make a show. That's how you actually do it. So we're all very excited, and there'll be more to come on that next week. I'll be able to talk about that more next week.
What a fun group.
Yeah, it's really good. It's exciting, and it's one of the reasons for the name change of our show and the rebranding and all of that. And we've got to tighten our shit up. Oh, I heard myself. I'm talking to me, too, for sure. And that's what's happening. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that fun? So let's see. All the people who are here on Instagram. One Vintage. Damian Dorian Dammit is here. The other Car Picks is here. County Line Cars and Coffee is here. Hello, you guys. Previously, Cars and Coffee 101. King Arthur is here. Hello, King Arthur. Don't call Jay old. Oh, somebody called me old. Please, Mike, our sweetheart. God is good, says someone else. All right. God love. All right. Nobody else can see these. I'm just reading them off the thing here. It's ridiculous. All right. Well, here's the pretty girl over here. This won't make you awkward, will it? If I just put that right there?
I'm getting used to being awkward.
Oh. All right. So let's talk about that. Rusty, do you want to hang out with us, or do you want to? What's the deal here? What do you want to do?
Oh, I'm just trapped inside of a Kia Sorento, so I'm good to hang out.
Oh, great. All right. Well, then I'm going to take you off our group shot here, but if you want to chime in at any point, you go ahead. Right? Okay. So he's still there if we need him. If you need anything, I can cut you at any point. If something happens, we need to go live to Chopper 5 over at Rusty. Where are you located right now? What part of Texas?
Right now, I am on Highway 39 in between Normandy and Robbins, Texas. So, middle of nowhere. The closest major city to me right now would probably be Houston, maybe.
Okay. All right. So you're not far from the DeLorean stuff and all that. We're not quite to that portion of the show yet, but it's a very nice segue. It will be. All right. Well, enjoy your drive. And if anything interesting comes up, you let us know and we'll cut to you. I don't like if a bird poops on the windshield, that sort of thing, maybe let it go. But, if there's an interesting altercation or we've got an interesting thing happening right here in the studio. You okay? I really like your new shoes, by the way.
The only thing interesting is the Kia Sorento.
All right, he loves it. Are you sponsored by Kia by any chance? I hear Kia Sorento a lot in this.
I'm hoping to be. Let's speak it into existence.
All right. I'm sorry. All right, everybody's like, what's going on here? I'm sorry. Okay, so here's the thing. I got to tell you about this place. This place is the Woodshed. The Woodshed is our friend Greg Grumberg's production company. And it's not really true. It's his studio. It's his studio, and it's like an artist colony. He's got people from all over, all sorts of like different creatives of all different sort, all under one roof, all doing their own thing, but they all can share each other's resources. So it's sort of not dissimilar to what we're doing here online with this new endeavor. So anyway, it's called The Woodshed, but more importantly, I was there to help Greg with his new podcast yesterday. He said, "Oh, come over and check it." I should premise it with that. I was already going to be the first guest on this new show. It's a new show with Chris Jacobs. You guys know him from Overhauling and stuff. And our friend Greg Grumberg, you've seen him on this show, but you might know him probably more from Star Wars or Star Trek or any of the plethora of incredible franchises that he's on. He's on that show, The Orville, with Seth MacFarlane. He's been around forever, but he's a good friend of ours, and they're doing this show, and I was the first guest today, and all that stuff is great. But so yesterday I was over there helping them with a couple things for their studio because I'm that guy. I'm that guy now. If you've got a podcast in this town and you're setting up a studio, apparently you call me. So we were over there doing that, and the conversation shifted to when are we doing our live shows, which we are developing currently and will be starting soon. The first one on the books in LA for sure is September 3rd at the Marconi Museum. It'll be Cars and Coffee Live with us and comedians and lots of cars. It'll be great. We hope it'll be great. We have very high hopes that it will be great. And anyway, so then it became, and we're going to be doing one of those at the Motoring Club as well, and we're going to be doing one of those at Porsche Santa Clarita as well, and we're going to be doing one of those, oh my gosh, someplace else that I can't think of in town as well as a week at Telefunken at some point as well. Everything, the dates are all falling into place as we speak because you know how things are. Can I make this any wider? I wish I could. Damn it. So we're figuring all that out. But Woodshed, longest intro ever. The conversation then shifted to, well, why don't you do one here and we can make it like a fundraiser and we can do it, you know, like have an open bar and an audience and bring a car inside and have the band there because he's already got the it used to be, what would it used to be called? the talk show band. No, I can't remember what it used to be called, but it's the action figure band now. And it's like it's Greg, it's Hugh Laurie from House. There are other actors and other people you would know are in the band. And the idea would be to do it there at the Woodshed. And now, because it seems like it all may come together so quickly and easily, it could theoretically be our first live show. So the first live with an audience, Cars and Coffee. Nope. Cars and Comedy. Get used to your own brand, sir. The first Cars and Comedy live could be at this place, at the Woodshed, which would be very cool and fun. And that is in North Hollywood, California.
That is the coolest
Yeah,
idea.
it is. It's really fun. There are some other things that we thought about and have developed I don't want to share with you here, but like it really, I think, will be fun. And if it works out, then of course we know we have that space anytime. That could be a regular thing, a yearly thing, who knows. We could move the damn show there if we needed to. Anyway, all sorts of exciting things coming up.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So, and we'll talk about next week, I guess we'll talk about where else you can see this show and how the Letterman Podcast Network will be a thing in the future and how it will actually be launched and stuff. The Instagram apparently went up like already today. So, so people are starting to follow that and stuff. So please follow the Letterman Podcast Network, or just Letterman Podcast Network, I think it's called. I know it will develop as we go. And I can't be more excited to be a part of it. Thank you to the universe. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Worldwide Pants for not, for just everybody. Thank you for not holding a grudge. Oh man, it's a shame Mike Chisholm isn't here for this but Rusty, you are. Maybe we can tackle this for a second. I didn't intend to talk about this tonight, but we finally watched most of the My Next Guest, the new season of My Next Guest, Letterman's Netflix show. Have you had any of this yet?
No.
Oh, well, please do, by all means. I was looking at it because I thought I needed some. Anyway, we really enjoyed the heck out of it. Watched them all but the Cardi B. I'm not saying I won't. I'm just... There's always one I save till last because I have no interest in seeing it, and generally I end up ends up being my favorite. But so far, Billie Eilish is my second favorite, and Kevin Durant is my favorite out of nowhere. Mr. I don't give a shit about sports. That's all Dave. It was the relationship. It was really fun and comfortable, and I just really, really liked it. And if I'm not mistaken, Rusty, was that your favorite as well?
That was not necessarily my favorite, but that was the one that Mike suggested that we discuss, since Kevin Durant, he played at University of Texas for basketball in college.
I gotcha. So my segue here, with foot in mouth, is to say that there is an episode of... Now, this is where it gets confusing. There's the little incestuous here. It's an episode of the Letterman Podcast, but Rusty is on that one as a guest. Right, Rusty?
Oh, absolutely. It's me and Mike, and we pretty much just shoot the shit about that Kevin Durant episode.
Yeah. And what did you think of it? Even though it wasn't your favorite.
Well, I thought it was a real good... Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It was kind of cool seeing Dave with somebody that's my age, because he's the same age as I am, Kevin Durant is. So it was kind of neat seeing, these two larger than life figures, I guess you would say, just having a normal conversation. I really liked the back and forth at the shuffleboard where they were talking about the Tang and the biscuit. I thought that was pretty comical words.
You're right about that, words being comical, but I enjoyed that section as well. And I think I can do this again. There we go. Oh, crap, that's not it. Hang on, Rusty. I'm sorry to interrupt the conversation here. Did this do it? There we go. That same part I liked because it seemed to me like there was two guys who are like the best at their craft doing something that neither one of them has any idea how to do. And there was something very cool about that to me.
Yeah.
It was very, it was equalizing.
Well, equalizing, and it was kind of like, it put them in a human form, I guess you could say. Because, they're people, like, those two guys for me, like, they're like another world type thing. And when you get to see them be, do just something as human as shooting the shit about shuffleboard, something as innocuous as that.
Yeah, and vulnerable about not being good about it, not being good at it.
Yeah, I like the back and forth they had. I thought that was kind of, I don't want to say cute, but I thought it was cute seeing them, kind of go through their little back and forth about who is better at shuffleboard. Is Dave because he's played one time, or is Kevin Durant because he's the 32-year-old athlete?
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. There was something about their relationship, and I don't know maybe if it was that Dave was nervous, but there was something so incredibly cute about that episode that I told. This was just last night. We watched that one, right? I told Nicole last night that it felt to me of all of the, I mean, if anything, Letterman, nothing has ever felt Mr. Rogers to me, ever, ever. This weird thing is an amalgamation of Letterman and Mr. Rogers for sure, but he never felt that way to me. That episode, to me, felt straight up Mr. Rogers, and the fact that they chose the little, very light jazz piano music underlying when they were walking around New York and whatever, and the fact that theoretically we are actually in Letterman's living room with the irony. By the way, this didn't seem that strange after I saw Letterman's living room with a giant plate glass window and bridges all over the place outside of it. He looked very at home. It made me want to send this stuff to New York so that he could just have it in his living room and start doing the show again. If he did this show, you know what I mean? He could just do this from his living room.
Yeah.
I'll produce it. I'll get the hell off the air and produce yours, Dave. Anyway, there was a lot to it that I feel like I saw a different part of Dave. He was cute. He was adorable.
Yeah.
He was very young. Very young.
Very young, very fatherly in a respectful way.
But somehow his agility on the basketball court, I mean, obviously he's no match for a 33-year-old Kevin Durant. But the fact that, Dave's posture and everything is so good, he's in such good shape for a 70-year-old.
Really
But
good
he
shape
just,
for his age.
he had that sort of youthful, he was a little bit like Mike Chisholm in that episode. You know how Mike's got that, Mike, I'm sorry if you see this, don't take it in a bad way. He's got that kind of doe-eyed, kind of like, I just want to hear everything you have to say. Like, I feel like that's how Dave was in that episode, and he's not like that.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about all the episodes. Really, is he has this genuine. I don't know. It's just like you said, childlike. Like all these figures that he's sitting with, he's larger than they are in the grand scheme of things. But he's just so interested in what they have to say. It's like a grandpa sitting with his grandson, and the grandson is talking about like anime and shit that the grandpa doesn't care about, but he's just like so enamored with the fact that he gets to sit with his grandkids and hear whatever they're doing or whatever they're passionate about.
Absolutely. I so agree with that. And I saw that too, for sure. Oh, that's cool, man. Well, I love that episode, so highly recommend it. The Billie Eilish one is great for completely different reasons, and I don't know if you'll agree, but I personally loved it a lot.
I was really drawn to her. Like, I learned so much without being beaten over the head. She's awesome.
Yeah, another thing I'll say, and this is this is a weird thing to say, but I think COVID was the best thing to ever happen to the Netflix Letterman show. These episodes where he's in people's houses or they're in his house or whatever, they're intimate episodes without the audience. The conversation is better, and he's amazing at it anyway. But you get to watch and witness a real conversation where there isn't an audience, where he isn't worried about fitting a joke in or playing off of their energy or simply maintaining their energy, which is something he's so good at doing. The fact that none of that is there, he's able to just focus all in on the guest and the conversation. I thought it was so great. The Julia Louis-Dreyfus one, the Billie Eilish one, and the Kevin Durant one especially. And there was another one where there was Ryan Reynolds. They went to his house too, with no audience, and I just thought those were great.
I like the Ryan Reynolds and him cooking pizza thing. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, I was with Dave though. It looked to me, and I thought the same thing before Dave said it. It looked like he was just mushing the dough around, and I'm pretty sure that Blake put all that stuff in the bowls, right? Like he didn't do all the prep work for that. He just kind of threw it together. Blake Lively?
Yeah, I imagine so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. But I thought that was cool, too. And then when they made the actual pizza out in the brick oven outside, that was pretty cool. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Texas is far. Texas is far. All right. Well, I can see there's too many hands here. I don't know what to cross off the card. And Rusty, you're doing a great job. I think I'm telling you, you guys. I really enjoy doing your podcast because you guys really are good together. You and your friend Mike. And what's Mike's full name, by the way? Because I forget.
Mike Hamilton. It's kind of funny how we met too, because like we didn't really know each other before we started recording. So we've gotten to know each other through. We do two podcasts together. Actually, we do a King of the Hill podcast as well.
Oh,
But
plug that.
I met BWAAAKOTH at Instagram. The links are all there for that. That's a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. We just go episode by episode, and we're on season 2, episode 4 right now. So we met
you're from
through
Texas, so
Instagram.
it probably hits home.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good show. It's something that's very relatable to anybody that grew up in a neighborhood in Texas for sure. You know those guys. You know, there's 4 dudes just like that in the alley somewhere near me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But so me and Mike kind of met through Instagram, and he was looking for somebody to do an 80s television show podcast with. Well, when we sat down, he was like, well, 80s TV is a lot to look at. And I was like, well, what about David Letterman? Well, he mentioned David Letterman first. And I was like, well, David Letterman, I happen to be a moderately size, like as far as a 30-year-old, I guess it would be an extreme Letterman fan. But in the scheme of Letterman fans, I've realized I am not as large as a fan as some, but I'm still a pretty big fan. And we kind of ran
I know
with
who
that.
you're talking about. I felt the same way, and then I met him too.
Yeah. So we ran with it, and he came up with the name and the logo and everything. Wake the Kids, Phone the Neighbors, and it's been real fun. It's been a treat for sure. It's been an experience.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Well, I enjoy what you guys do, so please keep doing it. Not that you'll stop now. It'd be a weird time to quit.
I don't have a choice now yet.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, well, more to come, all that stuff. But what's the name of the King of the Hill podcast?
It's called Blah, a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. BWAAA.
Oh,
Blah.
so you said that before, and I thought yeah.
It's an onomatopoeia is the name, yeah.
It's the irony.
Say that 3 times fast.
It's deep. It's deep. Deep. It's King of the Hill, but we're talking about onomatopoeia. It's great. I love it. All right. Well, is it an inside reference to the show? If you've seen the show, you would get it?
Yeah, well, Hank, in moments of distress, Hank Hill always makes a noise, and the noise that he makes is, whoa! So
I heard it now. Now I heard you. God damn it, Bobby. Yeah, I got you.
Damn it, Bobby. That's it.
I'm telling you, son. The world's
boy
in
ain't
propane.
right.
All right, I love it. So, blah. I mean, that is confusing. That is hard. I don't imagine you have a lot of people just strolling into that room by accident.
Probably not. It does really well as far as metrics go. It does better than our David Letterman podcast, so there's that.
Oh, I bet. The show had a huge following. The show was on for a long time, too.
And they're rebooting it, too. So, again, It's one of those things where we talk about, like, the right place, right time. It couldn't have been a better time to start a King of the Hill or a Letterman podcast. So we did both at the same time. So
I didn't know they were rebooting that. I just saw right before the show that Beavis and the Butthead. It's BJ and the Bear, Jake and the Fat Man, BJ and the Butthead. Beavis, God damn. Beavis and the Butthead. Beavis, God. All right, I'll talk to the Instagram audience for a minute. Beavis and Butthead. There's a new Beavis and Butthead movie. Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. Were you aware of that?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I am. Actually, Mike.
Why didn't you say
Mike Judge and Greg Daniels, they created their own animation studio. So, Bandera Entertainment, don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called, though. But they're doing a lot of production for Netflix. They're doing Exploding Kittens, which was a game, like a board game, I think. They're doing a TV show based on that, but it's Greg Daniels and Mike Judge, so you know it's going to be like explosive, no pun intended. But I think it's going to be great what they're doing. They're doing a bunch of stuff for Netflix. I don't know exactly what, but they have like 3 or 4 projects in the work for Netflix, as well as Beavis and Butthead, and then a King of the Hill reboot. So I think it's about to be like the age of Mike Judge once again. It's going to be like living the '90s all over again.
I love that guy. I've actually hung out with him a few times, and he's a really good hang. He's really cool. He's very chill, and he's just like really fucking funny. I know that's not a surprise to people. I know I shouldn't be the first guy. Would you believe this? Mike Judge is funny. No, I mean he's very funny in that he just is funny when he sits there.
He's
not trying to be
person.
funny, right? His intellectual, whatever, whatever he has that I don't have.
He's
It's
just
good.
Well, he is fairly educated. He does have a college degree. So.
Yeah, no, he's definitely smart, but he's another one. Oh, now it's like a truck. The story of where that guy came from is so great. And he told it on this show, sitting in that chair. How cool is that? Jeez, I just realized that.
Awesome.
There's footage if you search the Google for the David Letterman. You know what? I'm not going to say it. Or I will say it, but then we'll request Walter Kim put it up. Mike Judge's appearance on Letterman, where he of course he does the voices of Beavis and Butthead, but he talks about what's that guy's name? Anderson? Where Anderson came from, where that character came from, and it's or maybe it was where Butthead
Tom
came from.
Anderson, yeah.
Either way, whatever it was,
like
it was some neighbor, and he had a Chevy Nova, but he cut the roof off it or something, and then he's like, no, now it's like a truck, and that's like where the voice came from for the thing. But he always kind of apparently looked like this or something. I might be confusing stories, but it's a really great Letterman appearance. Mike Judge did, and it was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe on this set. It makes sense. It would have been early '90s.
I love that.
Anyway, he's a cool guy. Howard Stern Block Party is where we hung out with Eric the Midget. Remember Eric the Midget? He's dead now, but Eric the Midget and whatever the clown guy's name was. Not Flunky. Flunky was Letterman's clown, but there was another one for Howard Stern. Anyway, and it was Ronnie and JD and all those guys, and it was very, very bizarre. And of course, I was there. Cordry was there. I was there with your brother, actually. Justin and I went to it. Her brother used to work at the Daily Show, and they were out here for the Emmys. Because we went right from the Howard Stern Block Party to Ronnie's Block Party, all straight to Shutters or wherever for the Daily Show Emmy party with you guys, where you were with Jocelyn and everybody else.
Right.
Man, sorry. Every time we go down memory lane, it's like take you all with us. I apologize. Corey Sabia over here says, Jay and Nicole, hope all is well. You both will get a kick out of this. I just got second place this last weekend at Block Island Race, 200 miles from Stanford around Block Island and back. That is awesome. This is a kid who is a sailor, and I met him years later, I met him at my high school television studio where I used to do a little show, a little Letterman-type show, where I used to use the microphone that eventually went onto Dave's desk after I stole this. Anyway, I met him there, and he's a Wiltonian or Wiltonite or whatever, depending on which side of town you're on. And he's a sailor, and he just wanted. That's so cool, man. That's so cool. It's really cool, man. I'm missing a lot here. The people who, I think Mike does a lot when he's in the chat over here. I miss all of this, and I can't even show it to you. Rod Emery's here. Rod Emery, we talked about you today over at Greg Grunberg's because obviously you know Chris Jacobs is huge fan and friend of yours, but we want to bring Greg Grunberg over to your shop. To show him your stuff. So let's do that. His studio, they're all in the same neighborhood. This Woodshed Studio, and TLG and Rod Emery, they're all in the same neighborhood. Yep.
Cool.
Yes, so it would be very convenient for us to do the show there because it's like right up the street. For all the places in LA you could do a show, that would be convenient.
You car guys are pretty awesome. How you figure things out.
We're just a magnet. It's weird how everything works. Porsche driver is here. Cameron Weiss is here. Hello. What time is it? Adrian Chan. Hello. I think I saw Jensen Button in there before. Thank you for chiming in. I'm sure he's not here now, but that's pretty cool. Jasmine Jacobson. How did the name Worldwide Pants happen? King Arthur. That's a great question, but it's not my place to answer it. But I would love to answer or have someone come on the show and answer that. So stay tuned. We'll get an answer for you on that. And we Mike Chisholm and I have been joking. I think it was whatever, it doesn't matter. But pretty sure it was my joke. Either way, I said the world, if we did a, whatever the heck. I think he already does it on his show or some version of it, but I said it should be underpants. If you were going to do like a Letterman podcast or whatever, it should be underpants, like you're under worldwide pants, you know?
Yeah,
Underpants.
that's funny.
Worldwide Pants is just a name. You know what I mean? Like you need a production company name to do business, and most of them don't mean anything. So I think the irony there is that it doesn't mean anything. Big ass ham, pork products, all that sort of thing. Like, it's in the joke. The joke's in the joke. Let's see. The other car picks. Bought a badge. Cars and cannabis. Did I say that one? Oh, here we are talking about me again. Yeah, well, I didn't get to it before. So car-wise, plans to replace the GTI with a GR Corolla Circuit Edition. Dude, good call. Did you get an allocation already? Are you getting one? That would be super cool. That's a great car. It's the one I recommend to everybody, but everyone's like, I can't get one. I'm like, I can't help you. It would be great. All right, so we haven't done anything on this car.
I replaced a smart car with a Kia Sorento.
I know, and you are trying to get those Kia people involved. I'm sure you could get Kia to, well, probably not sponsor your podcast. We'll work on it. We'll figure something out. Let's see. So 0 to 60 is the name of the Greg Grunberg, Chris Jacobs show, and that's going to come out soon. And I'm sure you'll hear more about that because when it comes out, it'll be everywhere. That's real marketing team and everything on that. Let's see. Cars and Comedy Live. I talked about that. DeLorean. Let's talk about the new DeLorean for 2 seconds just because I still say it'll never happen. Remember, Johnny Lieberman was here recently with... no, he was here recently for sure, but he was here not so recently with Adam Ferrara, and they both thought I was crazy. They're like, it's happening! And Johnny's like, what are you talking about? They already have it! It's already done! They're building it! And I was like, nope, it's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. I still maintain that. I don't know why I maintain that, but I do. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they make it. I don't have some vendetta. Or do I? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. So, we talked about this on the podcast today on the other show, but you guys know from this show that Catherine DeLorean and... Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. I keep putting this down like I can, but I can't. Sorry. Catherine DeLorean is a family. She's like my sister, and the new DeLorean came up, and she doesn't have an issue with the car. It's not really about the car. The issue for her, and I understand where this comes from, but I understand the other side as well. Her issue is that the DeLorean Motor Company that exists today is not the same one that it was when her father was alive and ran the company. The famous company that made the stainless steel car that's in Back to the Future that John effing Z. DeLorean designed and came up with and went to jail for and everything else. His life imploded for this car. The company that exists today has nothing to do with it other than they bought the inventory, the trademarks, etc. It's a different person. They're doing business a completely different way. It's a successful business now. I think her issue comes into when they blur the line with, and this is not my place to be saying this, except that she's said it so many times on and off this show. When they blur the line between, it's a 40-year company or whatever, it's like, no, and you can't say that. There's so many things you could say. Why would you go and say that? It's like their PR person sucks. It's like everything's awesome. The business is great, but the PR sucks. Mm-hmm. Again, it's not my place to be saying this. I love all of them. I mean, Cameron and Steve Wynn, the father-son, Steve and Cameron Wynn, have always been very, very nice to me. Danny Botkin is a friend of ours. He works for them now. He is like a brother to me. He's a wonderful person. It's not, I have nothing against the people, but I understand Catherine's point. I mean, I not only do I understand it, I think she's right. But there you go. That's that. So, will the new DeLorean happen? What do you think, Rusty?
Will it happen? Probably so. But should it happen? Personally, I think they should leave it as it was.
Yeah, leave the legacy.
Leave the legacy alone. Yeah, it's like when they try to bring back like with the Bronco and all that. Like I really like the concept and I like it, but it's still like there's nothing like the white Bronco. You know what I mean? It's an iconic vehicle.
Yeah, that's what Grunberg was driving yesterday and today. That's hilarious. Yeah, his isn't
Oh,
white,
cool.
thank goodness. In L.A., it's a bad
They don't
move.
make it in a white, I don't believe. I don't think they have a white one that comes. I mean, I think you have to order it specially made. I don't think any of the default factory colors are white.
No, he's got a '96 Bronco. He's been driving around yesterday and
Oh,
today. The
96.
OJ
Okay,
one. I mean, it's
I
probably the
thought we were
wrong
talking
year,
about a
but
new one.
it's that
Yeah.
generation. And thank goodness it isn't white. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. I don't disagree with you. But I guess you'll have to watch it. I don't want to tell you everything Chris and Greg said about it too.
Well,
There were some
well,
good
for the
points.
DeLorean, it was like a one-off car. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a mass-produced, Kia, but it was a real special car. So I don't know if it would, if they could do it justice, then yes, it would be cool to see a new one. But if they're just going to ruin it and ruin the legacy of what that car was or means to, pop culture, then I think they should just let it be.
Yeah, I don't think you can do any damage to the brand at this point. I think if somebody was, I think if John DeLorean and the cocaine and everything that was written truthfully or untruthfully about it couldn't kill the legacy, I don't think anything will. So certainly not a new failed attempt should it not work out. But I do agree that it's not special. It doesn't look special to me. The gull-wing doors are not special anymore. Every friggin' X model Tesla has them. Along with many other cars these days. So it's not special anymore. And the original DeLorean, you said it wasn't really meant to be mass produced. That's actually not true. It was intended to be mass produced. It just didn't work out that way in the end.
Well, I
But
didn't
they
mean
intended to
intent.
make
I
like
didn't say
25,000
intent.
of them a year.
Yeah. I didn't say intent. I said it wasn't mass produced.
Oh, then you're right. Yeah, then you're right. Yeah, because to this day there's
Now,
only
I
about
know their
8,000
intent
of them
was
left.
to, but yeah, I know a little bit about the history of the DeLorean.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Catherine used to live not far from where you are now for a long, long time.
Oh, awesome!
In fact,
I'm a
anytime I've
car
ever
guy
been in,
too.
oh, go ahead.
I said I'm a car guy too. My dad was a shade tree mechanic my whole life. He'd been working on cars since he was a little kid. So
Oh, I
uh,
love it.
cars are sort of a part of my life too. I guess you could say.
The only times I've ever been in Texas in my life has been to visit Catherine DeLorean or stay at her house. Ironically, when she wasn't there.
Weren't you there when I met you? Or did you
No,
go
I
there?
was there. I was there after I met you when we were driving. I was driving across country to be with you,
Right.
but I stayed at her house. It was one of those times. But it's the time that I had the exposed nerve in my hand, and I I didn't know. I had an injury. I had an injury on my hand from a drunken evening the night before in Lexington, Kentucky, with Catherine. And if you've been on the show before, you've probably heard this story. But I speared my hand with a Freddy glove, accidentally, drunk one night at a bar, at this hotel bar at a DeLorean convention. And then the next day, after we bandaged it up and whatever, but it was not good. And then the next day, I drove to Catherine's house in Texas. In outside of where you are, I think it was like the Plano area of Texas, and yeah, I was taking a shower the next morning, and I took the Band-Aid off because I thought, oh well, I'll wash it, in the shower, wash the wound, and what I thought was a little thread of the Band-Aid still on the wound. I couldn't get it off; it wouldn't come off with my fingers. I didn't have enough fingernails, so I went to go get it off, and I blacked out. I shooting lightning pain everywhere, and I blacked out. And I got up off the floor of the shower, pouring down, and I was like, "What the shit was that?" And I realized that I had just bitten onto an exposed nerve.
It makes me sick every time.
It's awful.
Nice.
It's the worst story. I want to puke now talking about it. It's my hand. It doesn't feel the same. I can do all this and not feel crap. It's amazing. It's amazing. Be careful with your Freddy gloves, kids. Don't play with knives. Oh, man. This is hilarious. I don't know if Ariel's here or not tonight. If you are, Ariel, I love you. I miss you. Sorry. Didn't see you here. We should do some commercials at the very least. And let's see. Oh, we didn't get to how's the weather. Shit. Do we need to do that? We should probably do that. Maybe we'll do that on Tuesday. I don't want to inundate them with calls. Maybe I'll think it through this time and actually we'll do something. Let's see. How's the weather? Maybe we'll do that on Tuesday. I think is that the decision Tuesday. I think is good for that. Maybe Mike will be back for that. He. My favorite part of the show the other day was watching him. We're like, he genuinely had no idea. That was great. He's a great audience because it's what I talked about before, like that doe-eyed, that genuine. He's just real. He's authentic. You can't fake what he's got.
Yeah.
No matter what you think about it. And I get people who don't like it, and I get people who love it. You know what I mean? It's just like me. I really do.
He feels excitement, and I think you can feel that transfer sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Not in a bad way. Just in the same way I could feel your MS before. That was affecting both of us, you know? We all feel each other. Human beings do. Some are more in tune to it than others.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. This is hilarious. All right. They say, oh, yeah, you know what? And I want to remind everybody that there are no commercials anymore on the show. We're not doing the YouTube ads anymore. We took that off. We took it off. I had to watch one the other day, and it was really annoying, and I want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were having to do it that way. It's really annoying. I hate watching other people's shit that way. This is ridiculous. We're going to get some WD-40 in here or a new desk. Dave, your desk is coming back to New York, buddy. I need a new one that doesn't squeak and rattle. Oh, God! Jeez. This is not my night. What a week I'm having! So the YouTube ads are off. However, please do listen to this and consider doing what we ask you to do in a moment. They say all which separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. What types of toys are we talking about today, Nicole?
Cars and collector cars and businesses and homes and anything they can be in.
Yes, sir, Bob. You betcha. I'm waiting for you to come up with something new instead of reading from a script. If you've got a helicopter, that's insurable. You're going to want to check out St. Clair Insurance. Why? Because St. Clair Insurance shops top providers so you get the best coverage for your toys. Did we establish what those toys are, Mrs. Ryan?
Shit, I'm trying to think of know what this sounds all the time. Bubbles.
That's right. That's right. If you have an expensive bubble collection, good for you. You threw out a word, and we're gonna. And luckily, we have some. Whatever it happens to be, if it's insurable, you're going to want to get the St. Clair Insurance. Simply go to www.stclairinsurance.com. No, that's not true. You go to St. Clair. To check out stclairinsurance.com. You go to coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
And make sure that you tell Jeff St. Clair that Nicole says hello, because
I cannot.
Sometimes you can't. Also, and this is important, especially if you're in the Los Angeles area, especially if you are in the automotive content world, especially if you have an automotive brand, this one's for you. Series 1 Films brought part of this episode to you. This episode has been brought to you in part by Series 1 Films. Series 1 Films helps automotive brands create engaging cinematic content for social media and advertising to grab and hold your ideal customers' attention. That was almost onomatopoeia. Check them out at series1films.com. Series1films.com.
Series1films.com.
The one is a number one.
Series 1 Films.
Thank you, Rusty. Thank you, Rusty, from the car in Texas.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're a great wingman. Oh, it's hilarious. And there's no feedback issues with yours, which is nice. Sometimes Mike has feedback issues. And by the way, we're only saying all this stuff because he's not here. If he were here, we wouldn't say it. I don't know. Maybe I would. Irina Hoffman is here, by the way, too, everybody. I don't know if you guys saw, but Greg Daniels says, yeah. Oh, who's Greg Daniels? Oh, no. See, I don't get to these on time. It helps to have other people here. But she says, hello, Rusty. Irene Hoffman, I don't know if you know who that is.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a show here. This is a show. I don't know what it is, but it is a show. All right. Okay. Can we do the stuff? Are we done with the stuff? Let's see. It's been almost an hour. Are we supposed to do what's the weather? How's the weather? How's your weather? How's your can't Can you even ask how's it hanging? How's it hanging? You can't say that anymore.
I don't think so.
You know, I was like a couple years ago old till I finally found out that that's what that meant. How's it hanging? Like they're talking about your junk, your fucking man business. I didn't know that. I always thought like, oh, your wallet chain or your. I never knew what it was about. Hey, how's it hanging? Like to the left. Like, oh my god, I didn't. You know how many times I've said that in my life to somebody not realizing I was asking them how their dick is. Good lord. How's your dick? Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How's your dick? It's humiliating. Maybe that should be my how's the weather question. You call. Hey, it's Barbara Gaines from the Barbara Gaines Show. Leave your question at the beep. Beep. How's your dick? It's awful. Say, hey, how's it hanging? You know what I'm asking, right? Wink. Like, it's ridiculous. Is there anything like that for you? Or Rusty, you either one, either you, Nicole, or Rusty. Is there anything for either one of you where you had that, where you know, it was later in life when you kind of realized what something meant or what something signified?
Oh, douche. The word douche. It used to be a sound, like you'd hit somebody and you'd just be like, douche. You know, like a noise, and then you're like, oh, okay, well that's more than just a noise. Yeah, so that would be the one word I guess that would just off the top of my head I could think of.
That's hilarious. How about you?
Anything boy, I have no idea.
What?
Any boy terminology, like housing and like what you said, like I didn't get any of that.
But nothing in particular.
I feel no.
No, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. That's okay. I mean, I guess
I feel like it happens all the time with everything, so I don't want to say anything specific.
Well, then I'll change the subject. Matthew Kamen West says the real DeLorean car was never finished. That's not untrue. I mean, it was undeveloped, maybe. It did not meet its intended potential, I would say, as well. The car that was intended, it was supposed to look great and drive great. They accomplished one of those things. I've owned two of them, trust me. And I've driven, I don't know how many, probably 100. No joke. And, yeah, they don't drive great. They're not bad cars like people say they are. They're just like, you have to know that it's a DeLorean and you have to deal with the quirks of a DeLorean. And if you can deal with the quirks of a DeLorean, they're not bad cars. Ours never broke down. I drove it all the time. We abused it. I mean, we broke the glass out of it. We drilled holes into it. We made it a time machine, you know what I mean? We welded it. I mean, we abused this poor car. But I made sure it was in good mechanical shape first, thanks to Danny Botkin. And it was a great car in that it started every time and got us to every show we ever needed to get to, or every charity event, or every birthday party or wedding or whatever we ever did with it. Every shoot for Universal, every single time they needed it to start at 2 a.m. when it was cold and foggy or whatever. Always did. Never a dead bat. It was never like the movie. In the movie, it never started. It was always conking out. It wasn't like that at all with ours. We were really, really lucky. And speaking of, whoever brought that up, good job. The person I built my time machine with, the friend of mine that we built the Ghostbusters car and the time machine, and we almost had a prop show together. He is going to be on this show very, very soon. He is just back in town, I think, tomorrow from, or maybe today, from somewhere else. And as soon as he's settled, he's going to be in here, which is going to be really fun.
Great.
You guys are going to want to tune into that episode because not only is his name is Sean Bishop, not only is he incredibly interesting from having done his own stuff, he's an animator, he's a producer, he's a writer, he's a director for DreamWorks and Disney animation. You know his voice from every animated movie you've ever seen because he has so many of the smaller, lesser voices because he does all the scratch with the real people. He's got great stories from Will Smith on Shark Tale to Gary Shandling on Over the Hedge, all these people that he worked with in the voiceover booth. So all that and all the prop stuff we made, plus Time Machine. And that's coming up soon.
Can't wait.
On Cars and Comedy, the new name for this show, which I'm still getting used to. Cars and Comedy, Cars and Comedy.
That was good.
Thanks. You're great. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Mr. Naudis, I miss you. I haven't seen you in ages, brother. I hope you're well.
I was just thinking about
Oh,
it.
look at this. Catherine DeLorean is here. Of course she is. All right. Now, here's what Catherine DeLorean has to say. Supposed to be a turbo. The original that was released was not how it was supposed to drive. He wanted to work out the kinks in the manufacturing process before he made the real car, the turbo. Exactly. At least that's what he told me. Catherine, I heard the exact same stuff. I guess it probably was from you, but also, the factory people, too. The people who worked under the man. The people who knew the man for the man, and he was doing what he had to get things done, but he was a good man underneath. He wasn't. There are a lot of books, there are a lot of stories, there are a lot of entities that have painted him in a different light that I don't believe was actually true, and nor does my friend Kat, who's his daughter. And I trust her. I feel like her gut is going to know better than we do on this one. The Godfather shall see you in the morning. Oh, awesome. Nice, Mr. Naudis. I love it. And Kat DeLorean says, LOL. Catherine DeLorean, I also talked about you and gave a shout out to you on the new Chris Jacobs, Greg Grunberg show that I was on today as well. So stay tuned for that. It's called 0 to 60, by the way. I just can't tell you where it is or what it is or whatever. It's going to be good. I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
I can't wait to hear.
They were sure to say many times that this was only part one. I think they opened up a lot of cans of worms with me they were not prepared for. Greg Grunberg's like, this is amazing. You're going to break from this show. I was like, what? He's like, all these people are going to see you, and they're going to be like, what? Who is this guy? And I thought it was pretty funny. I think it's funny that he sees it that way, because you know me, it's all the same. I'm thrilled that people are finally asking me to do the kind of work that I enjoy. That's nice, instead of trying to hand me work that I can't stand. Hey, you want to do this? No, I freaking hate it. I know I'm good at it. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I think we've done it. We'll do how's the weather next week after I get some more news on the other stuff. Okay. And we will have a lot more to talk about next week as well. Letterman podcast related. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Network related, being part of something bigger. I love it. So let's see. Tomorrow is GVBC. It is very weird holding this damn thing. Catherine DeLorean says, love you so much, my family from DMC. I met a lot of my favorite people in the DMC community. Yeah, and this is what Catherine is going to be using, our show at first, but she's already building her own. Excuse me. Pardon me. She's also building her own forum as well, where she will be able to speak her thoughts and interact with her followers. And I personally could not be more excited for that, because I love you too.
Kat, I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's well needed. She needs this. So many people love her, and so many people need to feel her love for them. And she needs to. There's a lot of things she needs to set straight. There's a lot of stuff out there that's only coming from one side. And in my opinion, there are two sides. I know for a fact there are two sides to this. In my opinion, those both should be heard.
Agreed. I feel like Kat's gotten glossed over. Like, until I met you, I didn't know there was more to the story.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, good Texas proverb.
Yeah.
A good Texas proverb. Sorry to interrupt y'all. So there's my side, your side, and the truth.
Right. Yep. Right. They say that a lot of places too. Did it come from Texas? I love it.
I have no clue. It's just something
I just love the term. It's a Texas proverb. The idea that there are Texas proverbs. Fantastic. Oh, also, Greg Grunberg is going to be here next week, if I didn't mention that previously.
Fun.
Yeah, so he'll be back here. It was a pod for a pod. And Chris Jacobs will be here soon, too. He's out of town. He's going to be in Connecticut, actually, this weekend. He's flying out tomorrow to go to the Greenwich Concours, which is a delightful thing. And that's where he will be. He won't be here. We will be here. Tomorrow, GVBC. And the rest of the weekend, I don't know. Maybe nothing. I can't remember. What's today? So this is the first Saturday. I don't think there's anything for us. I think the second Saturday we have something, but the first Saturday I don't think we do. And with that, we'll probably rest up, which is well needed. And then more stuff to come next week. Very excited about it.
Right.
This Letterman podcast thing is going to be Tuesday through Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Exciting.
Good job, guys.
All right. I love you. We love you. Rusty, we love you. Thanks for sitting in and standing in or whatever, being in for the Mike Chisholm guy.
Yeah, no problem. Had a lot of fun. It was a blast.
You were great. So I guess you're Texas Rusty, but I kind of like the idea of you being just our own little King of the Hill character that could call in anytime you want to.
There you go.
I think I like having a whack pack. You know, we got Canadian Mike already, and now Texas Rusty, and we're all in the same little pocket. I like it.
I should do this every time, though. I should be in a car driving exclusively, so it's cars and comedy.
I'm in. I love it. And then, did you notice Mrs. Ryan's new shoes today? Did you get to see those? Can you see those on there? Where you
I did see her new shoes.
Look at that. You went Vans.
I love them.
Yeah,
They're so
Vans
great.
are awesome.
I don't want you to not have the Hunzigers, so I'm going to get you another pair of the Hunzigers, too. I'm going to buy those as well. I put them in my cart, and I just didn't sign out the other day. So we're going to get you some Hunzigers as
My
well.
last pair of new shoes was a pair of Beavis and Butthead Heelys.
I didn't even know they made Beavis and Butthead Heelys. I don't even know what Heelys are.
Yeah, it's adult Heelys with Beavis and Butthead on them, yeah.
What's a Heely? What does a Heely mean? Oh, the ones with the roller wheels?
Yeah, it has a wheel in the heel.
Hilarious. Catherine DeLorean says, hello, OC Car Spotter. Well, that's Carol, right? Hi, Carol. Isn't that Carol? I think OC Car Spotter is Carol, the one who deleted her thing and then came back right after. I mean, she deleted it for a while, but then after we saw her and she told us about it, she came back. Matthew Cayman West says, I love John's Pontiac GTO. Man, totally agree with you there. The DeLorean GTO was sick. I think that was is that the one Vin Diesel drives in Triple X, I think? It's awesome. Nice shoes. Vans are my favorite as a kid, still are as an old guy, says County Line Cars and Coffee. OC Car Spotter says, yes, I was super sick. I'm sorry. I hope you're well now, Carol. And let's see. Cat DeLorean says, me too. I want a 64 Tri-Power in Midnight Blue. Oh, Cat, me too. I want that. Oh, I want that. This is great. It's great to see everybody. Ooh, sorry. Every time I almost sign out, it's terrible. Did we do it? We said goodbye to everybody, right? The show's over. What are you still doing here? Get out of here! Get out of here! Tracy Ullman used to do that. Go home. Go home. Go home. Thanks, everybody. We love you. See you out there.